Not everyone will understand. Not everyone will feel it. But if your heart sank at this title, if your eyes are fixed here now, perhaps you've already been touched by the call. Something inside you, something that can't be explained with words, recognized. This sign, it's no coincidence. You've come this far because you've already begun to remember who you are, where you came from, and what you came to do in this existence. A silent group is rising. They don't make noise, they don't seek applause, but they're everywhere, looking at the world with more attentive, deeper eyes. They've begun to sense the changes before they arrive. They feel pains they can't explain, emotions that aren't just theirs. They know something bigger is happening, even when no one around them seems to notice. These people have always felt different. Since childhood, they questioned what others accepted. They suffered from seeing what others didn't. They were labeled intense, overly sensitive, strange. But today, this strangeness is revealing itself as a gift. They are waking up. And you, maybe you're among them. If you've been feeling an uncontrollable urge to change, to break old patterns, to move away from everything that seems shallow and soulless, you're awakening. If you've been seeking silence, missing something you never experienced, wanting to go home without knowing where it is, you're awakening. And once this process begins, there's no turning back. The call doesn't come in loud voices. It whispers. It comes in dreams, in coincidences, in repeating numbers, in tears that fall for no reason. It comes in inexplicable pain, in existential emptiness, in sleepless nights. It comes when the soul is ready. And if you're here, now hearing these words, perhaps your soul already is. You've heard this number somewhere. Perhaps you read it in an ancient text, saw it in a dream, or simply felt it vibrate when it appeared. The 144,000 are not a sect, nor a closed group with rules and hierarchies. They are a symbol, a reminder, a living frequency that pulses in the hearts of those who came to Earth with a mission much greater than mere survival. They represent the first wave, those who came to awaken before all others, to light the torch of consciousness amidst the collective darkness. Each of these beings carries an invisible mark, a silent seed planted in their souls long ago. This mark is not physical but emotional, energetic, spiritual. It is a deep calling that has accompanied them since birth. Therefore, from a young age, many of them feel different, out of place, and misunderstood. It's as if they live in a world that doesn't speak their language. And deep down, that's exactly it. They came from far away, from more subtle, more sensitive planes, where love is the law and wisdom is the basis of everything. These 144,000 are not above the others. They are not better, nor purer, but they are at a different point on the journey. They are like the first rays of sunlight that announce a new dawn. They awaken first, yes, and because of this, they often carry more pain, more confusion, more emotional responsibility. They bear the collective shadow, face profound loneliness, and go through dark nights of the soul that seem endless. But it is in this internal process that they remember who they are, why they came, and what they need to do. The number is symbolic, but the vibration is real. It's linked to a specific frequency of consciousness. It's like a password that opens an inner door. Those who vibrate with it feel an almost uncontrollable urge to search, to dive deep within themselves, to break free from everything superficial. They can no longer distract themselves as they once did. They can no longer pretend everything is fine. They need to align, they need to serve, they need to reconnect with their purest truth, even if it costs them everything they thought they were. The 144,000 have already begun to awaken. And if you feel this restlessness in your soul, this thirst for something not found out here, this sense that there is a greater mission awaiting you, perhaps it's because you are among them. The world won't give you certainty of this, but your heart will. You don't need to know everything right now. You just need to accept that there is something within you that is not of this world, and that something is asking to emerge now. It's easy to imagine them as mystical figures, isolated in mountains, meditating in absolute silence or performing secret rituals. But the truth is that these 144,000 are among us. They are ordinary people with seemingly normal lives, hidden behind simple clothes and distracted looks. They are on the subways, on the buses, serving customers, caring for children, working in silence. They are disguised as ordinary people, and that's exactly what makes them so special. Because their mission isn't to withdraw from the world, it's to transform the world from within. Most of them don't even know they're part of this first wave. They just feel it. A pain no one understands, a constant discomfort with routine, with the system, with the superficiality of relationships. Many were discredited, called unstable, overly sensitive, dramatic. Others hid their true brilliance so as not to appear different. But even so, they never stopped feeling there was something more, something that couldn't be put into words, but insisted on pulsing inside their chest. These beings have a silent but powerful presence. When they arrive in a place, the atmosphere changes. People feel calmer, more open, more touched, even without understanding why. They are living bridges between dimensions, even without knowing exactly how it works. They carry a different energy, one that comes not from ego or performance but from the soul. And this is felt by those who are ready. The human heart recognizes what is true, even when the eyes cannot explain it. They're not here to impose truths or convince anyone. Their mission isn't to indoctrinate, it's to exist with such authenticity that their mere presence ignites something in others. They're like mirrors, revealing the purest in the people around them. Sometimes, with just a look, a word, or an attentive listen, they awaken something dormant in others. And that's why so many feel drawn to them, because unintentionally they trigger old memories in those who encounter them. If you've ever met someone like this, one who left a deep impression on you without even knowing why, perhaps you've crossed paths with one of these 144,000. And if you feel like you're that person for someone, then perhaps your mission has already begun, even if silently. They don't wear capes, nor do they have visible signs, but they carry a light that never fades, and that light is now being kindled everywhere. It's not easy to recognize when this process begins. It doesn't come with a manual, nor with an obvious sign. Awakening often comes disguised as a crisis. You begin to feel like nothing is fun anymore, that environments are heavy, that conversations seem empty. People who once made you feel good start to drain your energy. Places you once frequented with joy now cause you physical discomfort. And all of this can seem confusing, scary, even lonely. But in reality, it's your vibrational field transforming. You're moving from one level of consciousness to another. Sensitivity heightens. Smells, sounds, vibrations, everything becomes more intense. You sense other people's moods, detect hidden lies, capture sadness no one has spoken aloud. You may even doubt yourself. Am I going crazy? No, you're waking up, and those who wake up see. They see beyond the surface, they see beyond the masks. But what no one tells you is that seeing too much at first hurts. It's like seeing the naked truth when everyone is still asleep and saying everything is fine, and that takes courage. Another common symptom is the sensation of being out of body. You walk the streets, talk to people, but everything feels distant, as if you're observing everything from the outside. It's a clear sign of disconnection from the artificial and superficial world. Your soul is trying to pull you inward so you can immerse yourself in what's real. You may begin to feel the urge to isolate yourself, to retreat, to seek silence. It may seem like depression, but it's not. It's the emptiness of your soul asking for space to be heard after so many years of silence. Sleep also changes. You start having vivid dreams, hidden messages, encounters with people who have already passed away. Sometimes you wake up tired, as if you've lived another life during the night. This happens because your soul is working even while your body rests. You are being prepared, realigned, remembered. Your energy field is being reconfigured to receive more light, more information, more truth. But all of this requires energy, and the body feels it. And there's the main sign of all. A deep, almost desperate desire to align with something greater. It no longer matters to please, to be right, to win arguments. You want peace. You want truth. You want presence. And even if that still seems distant, the simple fact of wanting it already shows that something inside you is changing. Symptoms aren't punishments, they're portals. And passing through them, even with pain, is a clear sign that you're awakening. There's a kind of emptiness that no amount of achievement can fill. You can have a good job, a comfortable home, even stable relationships, and still feel like something essential is missing. It's as if there's an invisible hole inside your chest, an absence that silently tightens, a longing that has no name. This emptiness doesn't come from emotional deprivation or material dissatisfaction. It comes from a disconnection with your true essence. It's the soul knocking at the door, asking to be remembered. And only those who are awakening understand this silent pain. This kind of emptiness is frightening because it challenges everything we've been taught about happiness. We've been programmed to fill the internal with the external, buying, posting, winning. But there comes a point in the journey when none of this makes sense anymore. You begin to realize that even surrounded by stimuli, there's a silence inside you screaming for attention. And that's where many get lost, trying to silence this cry with distractions, addictions, and rushing around. But the emptiness only silences when you embrace it. The hardest part is explaining this feeling to others. Those who haven't experienced it don't understand. They think it's a whim, an existential crisis, a drama. But it's not. It's spiritual. It's energetic. It's the call of your deepest memory asking you to remember who you were before all this. And the more you ignore this call, the more the emptiness grows. Because it's not there to punish you. It's there to awaken you. It's a reminder that you came into this world with a greater mission than simply fitting in. This void is the womb of transformation. It is here that you begin to die to what you are not and be reborn into what you always were. But you must cross this dark tunnel with courage. In it, you will release everything that no longer belongs to you. Toxic relationships, other people's expectations, old fears, social illusions. It will feel like you're losing everything. But in truth, you're simply emptying yourself so you can receive what is real. The void is the portal, and crossing this portal is an act of profound surrender. So if you feel this emptiness, don't fight it. Listen. Stay with it. It's sacred. It's the space where your soul finally has a chance to speak. Maybe you've spent your whole life trying to fill this hole with quick fixes. But now is the time to dive into it. Because within lies the key to your awakening. And whoever dares to cross this silence will never be the same again. Have you started noticing strange patterns happening around you? Repeating numbers, people from your past who reappear out of nowhere, phrases that seem to follow you wherever you go. You turn on the TV, listen to a song, open a book, and there's the same message. It's as if the universe is trying to tell you something. And it is. The coincidences that surround you are messages in disguise. Small clues, subtle signs that you're aligning with something bigger. And the more attention you pay to these signs, the clearer they become. These coincidences become so frequent that they become impossible to ignore. You look at the clock and see the same times over and over. You hear a word you just thought of. You meet people who were on your mind. All of this is happening because you're tuning into a different frequency. Your perception is being refined, your channels are opening, and the reality around you is beginning to respond. The universe speaks to you through these details. And those who listen never feel alone again. Many awakening people report these synchronicities as if they were messages from another dimension. And in a way they are. When you begin to vibrate, in your truth, life around you changes. Connections become deeper, encounters more meaningful, events more symbolic. Nothing seems by chance anymore. And this, while magical, can also be frightening. Because you begin to understand that there is an intelligence behind everything, and it is guiding your steps. These signs come to confirm that you're on the right path, even when everything seems uncertain, even when you feel afraid. They're like invisible arrows pointing the way, and the more you trust, the more the path reveals itself. It's not about superstition, it's about perception, about presence, about being awake enough to see what's always been there, but gone unnoticed. Reality is trying to talk to you, and you're beginning to understand its language. So, the next time something coincides, stop, breathe, feel, ask what it's trying to show you, because nothing happens by chance. And the more you respect these signs, the more you strengthen your connection with the intelligence that guides you. The 144,000 aren't guided by external factors. They follow an internal compass. And this compass is illuminated by the signs. Are you seeing yours? For so long you were led to believe that changing the world was a grand task, reserved only for the strong, for leaders, for those chosen with supernatural powers. But the truth is that true revolution happens silently, within. The mission of the 144,000 is not to go around converting people, saving multitudes, or positioning themselves as saviors. It's much more subtle and much deeper. It's to remember, and in remembering, to radiate this truth to the world without needing to say a single word. When you remember who you are, not as a personality, but as an essence, something shifts in your energetic field. You stop seeking outside and begin to emanate from within. Your choices change, your presence changes, your energy begins to silently heal the environments you pass through, and that, in itself, is already an immense service. Because we live in a world so disconnected, so anxious, so superficial, that someone who lives in their truth, with a heart at peace, already makes an impact you can't even imagine. Your mission is to light your own light, and keep that light burning, even when everything around you is in shadow. It's not about convincing others, but about being so authentic that your existence itself becomes an invitation, a reminder, a key. When you live aligned with your soul, you become a mirror for others. And without realizing it, you begin to awaken those around you, not with words, but with presence, with love, with truth. Many of the 144,000 feel an inner urgency, a drive to do something, to contribute, to transform. But before wanting to change the world, you must change yourself. Because everything starts within. Collective healing begins with individual healing. Planetary transformation begins when you commit to your own truth. That's the secret. The world changes when you change. The external responds to the internal. It's always been this way. If you've been feeling this restlessness, this desire to align yourself, to break patterns, to live more truthfully, then you're already on the path. The mission is active. And it doesn't require you to be perfect. It only requires you to be honest with yourself. Because the memory of your origin, your purpose, your light, is already there within. And the more you delve into it, the clearer everything becomes. You didn't come to save the world. You came to remember, and by remembering, you will inspire thousands to do the same. It's important to understand that the role of the 144,000 is not to carry the world on their shoulders. They didn't come to fix everything, to resolve every pain, to heal all of humanity's wounds. They came to light the first flame, to be the fuse, the initial impulse that awakens the rest. They are the first wave of consciousness that breaks with the old frequency. And once that first wave activates, it begins to pull others along with it in a silent and profound effect, like ripples that spread across a pond after a stone is thrown. These people don't need to do anything grand to fulfill their mission. They just need to live with presence. They just need to choose the truth even when it hurts. They just need to say no to what doesn't resonate, to follow their intuition even when it doesn't make sense, to refuse to live on autopilot. Every act of integrity amidst the chaos is a code being released. Every decision made from the heart is a memory activated. And so, little by little, without shouting, without convincing anyone, the new frequency spreads. It's natural for many to feel tired, lonely, and emotionally exhausted. The energy they carry is intense. The silent responsibility they feel often isolates them. But they are not alone. Never have been. The network is forming, invisible to the naked eye, but as strong as the roots of an underground forest. The connection between the 144,000 isn't through words or appearance, it's through vibration, through recognition. When two awakened beings cross paths, something ignites. A sparkle in their eyes, a shiver, a sense of reunion. They don't need to be in the same place, nor do they need to know each other personally. They are scattered throughout the world like seeds, and each one, as it blossoms, awakens a part of the collective field. They are the first to fall out of the system, the first to question everything, the first to say, "This doesn't serve me anymore." And when they do, they pave the way for others to do the same. They are catalysts, triggers, pioneers, and even without knowing it, they are fulfilling a plan much greater than their own personal stories. If you feel like one of these, trust. Even if no one understands, even if the world around you is still asleep, your conscious existence is already doing the work. And yes, it may feel lonely at times, but it is in this silence that the collective transforms. You are not here to carry everything, but you are here to light the first light. And that light, once lit, never goes out. Many people in this group feel deeply tired, but it's not just any physical fatigue. It's something that comes from the soul, an invisible exhaustion, as if they're fighting internal battles that no one sees, as if they're carrying a weight they don't know where it comes from. Sometimes, it's a sadness that appears out of nowhere, a desire to cry for no reason, a tightness in the chest that won't go away. This pain isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of activation. It's the body, mind, and spirit adjusting to a new frequency. The pain comes because you're shedding old layers. Scars that were dormant begin to throb. Forgotten wounds resurface. Emotions you've never processed begin to emerge with force. It's as if everything that was hidden is finally being allowed to come to light. And yes, it hurts. But this pain is sacred. It's not destroying you. It's cleansing you. It's making room for the new to enter. It's preparing the inner temple you need to receive your true essence. It's normal to feel like you're going crazy, that you're losing your footing, that nothing makes sense anymore. But that's part of the process. Because to truly awaken, you have to dismantle old structures. Everything you believe to be real begins to crumble. Masks fall. Hidden truths emerge. And what's left is you, raw, vulnerable, but ultimately true. It's at this point that the soul takes over. And then, the magic begins to happen. The body feels it too. Pain without medical explanation, anxiety attacks, palpitations, insomnia, dizziness, sensitivities you didn't experience before. This doesn't mean something is wrong. It means something is being transformed. Your system is being recalibrated. Your energy field is being redesigned to support more light, more truth, more awareness. And this process is intense. It's not for the faint of heart. But you're going through it because you can, because your soul was already ready. If you've been feeling this pain, don't blame yourself, don't hide. And above all, don't despair. You are going through a sacred rite. You are being activated from within. You are accessing layers that many will never dare touch. And this, even in silence, is already an act of courage. You are not broken. You are rebuilding yourself. And every tear that falls in this process is a memory being washed away. You are coming home, one step at a time. You might be wondering, why is all this happening now? Why is this call coming so strongly at this very moment in my life? The answer isn't in the clocks or the calendar. It's in the Earth's collective frequency. We are crossing an invisible energetic threshold, a silent but intense shift that is touching all ready souls. What was once dormant now begins to vibrate. What was once tolerated now bothers. What once went unnoticed now leaps to the surface. This is no coincidence, it is divine synchronicity. The planet is readjusting, and with it, The souls who came with deeper purposes are also being activated. This isn't a random or impulsive awakening. It's a precisely orchestrated process. Each person who feels this calling now is receiving a silent summons to take their place. This doesn't mean you have to do something spectacular. It means you need to align yourself. Be who you came to be. And that being is already awakening within you. The times we live in demand courage. The courage to feel, to break free, to be reborn. There's no longer any room for hiding behind excuses, fear, or social conventions. Those who feel this calling are being pulled from within, almost uncontrollably. And that can be scary, yes. It may feel like you're losing control, but in reality, it's just the ego surrendering to the soul. It's the end of an old version of you, and the birth of something new, more whole, more real, more connected. Don't think you're late. The soul's time doesn't follow clocks. Each one is activated at the exact moment. If you're reading this now, if you're feeling that warmth in your chest, that unexplained shiver, that urge to cry without knowing why, it's because your moment has come. It doesn't matter how many steps you've taken or how many times you've fallen. What matters is that you're now listening, you're feeling, and that's enough. The first step to awakening is recognition. It's accepting that something greater is moving within you. You've been preparing for this for lifetimes. Maybe you've felt lost for a long time. Maybe you've suffered rejection, abandonment, pain no one saw. But all of this has shaped you. All of this has brought you here. The first wave has already begun. And you're not on the sidelines. You're inside, at the center, part of the silent transformation that will change everything. Because when you change, everything around you begins to change too. That's why now is the time. And that's why you're feeling the call. Before the light fully reveals itself, silence arrives. Absence, emptiness. It's as if the universe suddenly erases all certainties and places you in a dark room, where all that remains is your own breath. This is the test. The moment when everything seems to stop, when answers disappear, when people drift away, when the meaning of life seems to evaporate. But as painful as it may be, this silence is not a punishment. It's a rite of passage. It's the sacred pause between the old that dies and the new that has not yet been born. During this period, it's common to feel abandoned. Connections weaken, support disappears, certainties dissolve. You look around and no longer recognize anything, not even yourself. But this is part of the process. It's necessary. It's in silence that the soul finally finds space to speak. And at first, its voice may be quiet, timid, trembling, but it's there, waiting for you to hear it. And this listening is only possible when the noise of the world ceases. When everything outside disappears, what remains is the inside. And there lies the truth. The test of silence isn't about passivity. It's about presence. It's in this moment that you learn to trust the invisible, to walk without seeing the ground, to feel without guarantees. It's the moment you let go of control, when you learn to float in uncertainty. And in this letting go, in this trust, something begins to move within you. A silent but firm force, a presence that doesn't shout but sustains. The soul begins to emerge, and you begin to remember. Many give up at this point. They think they've failed, that they weren't chosen, that they're doing something wrong. But they're not. They're exactly where they should be, because this profound silence is, in fact, the honing of the spirit. It's where everything is stripped away so that the essential can flourish. It's where you stop being who you learned to be and return to being who you were born to be. It's where the armor falls, where the shield crumbles, and the heart reveals itself, raw, vulnerable, but alive. If you're going through this moment, don't run away. Don't fight the silence. Sit with it. Allow yourself to feel, even if it hurts, even if it seems endless. Because on the other side of this void lies your light. There's the memory. There's the mission. There's the peace you've sought so long, outside. Silence is the ultimate test. And whoever goes through it never forgets who they are. No one awakens all at once. Memory doesn't arrive like a ray of light that illuminates everything immediately. It comes in pieces. Fragments of memory, old sensations that return, inexplicable déjà vu, intense dreams that seem more real than everyday life itself. Little by little, you begin to feel like you've already known certain places, certain people, certain feelings. And it's in this subtle reconnection with the invisible that the soul begins to rebuild itself. Each piece that returns is a part of you, saying, "I'm here, I never left." It's common to want quick answers, to understand everything at once, to know your mission, your purpose, your role in this world. But awakening isn't an automatic download. It's a dance between patience and surrender. Each new memory only arrives when you're ready to receive it. If it came sooner, it could confuse, paralyze, or hurt you. So trust your soul's timing. It knows what it's doing. It knows exactly what to show you and when to show it. True memory doesn't come from the mind, it comes from the body, the heart, the subtle field you carry. Suddenly, you feel a strong emotion when listening to a song, or connect deeply with a word that never meant anything before. These are all keys, portals that open for you to access what was hidden. Don't underestimate the details. The soul speaks through them, and when you start paying attention, everything around you becomes a message. You'll realize that the fragments of your memory aren't just about what happened before in other lives or planes. They're about who you've always been, about the strength you carried and forgot, about the wisdom that was always there, dormant beneath layers of fear, trauma, and conditioning. And the beautiful thing is that the more you reconnect, the more the world around you begins to respond, as if everything was waiting for you to come back to yourself, except that you don't know everything yet. And that's okay. Awakening isn't a race, it's a return. And this return needs to be gentle, deep, and conscious. Celebrate every small memory, every sensation that resurfaces, every emotion that reveals something old within you. Because deep down, all of this is preparing you to live not a new life, but the life your soul has always dreamed of living. This is perhaps the most profound question you'll ask yourself throughout this journey. Am I one of the 144,000? But in truth, this question doesn't need an answer. Because if you've come this far, if you've read all this with your heart beating, if you've felt something move within you, then perhaps you already know. The soul doesn't need external confirmation. It recognizes. And even if the mind tries to doubt, it feels the truth vibrating silently. What you feel now is your yes. Being part of this wave doesn't mean being special or superior. It means being conscious. It means carrying a flame that refuses to go out, even amidst the storms. It means choosing the truth, even when it hurts. And that, in itself, is a revolution. If you feel you're here for something greater, that your pain has meaning, that your presence has a purpose, then perhaps you're already fulfilling your mission. Even if you don't realize it, even if no one tells you, even if you do it silently, you don't need to go around telling the world you've awakened. Just live with presence, just honor what you feel. Just keep going even when everything seems confusing, because true awakening doesn't need to be displayed. It reveals itself in the brightness of your eyes, the steadfastness of your soul, the quiet peace of knowing you're on the right path, even if that path is lonely. You are not alone. You never have been. And now, more than ever, it's time to remember that. The right question isn't, am I one of the 144,000? The question is, what will I do with this calling? Because now that you've heard it, now that something within you has been activated, there's no going back. The soul, once touched, doesn't fall asleep again. It begins to guide your steps, to correct your course, to push away what no longer serves you. And this can be painful, yes, but it's also liberating. Because finally, you're becoming who you've always been. If something touched your heart during this video, leave a comment. I woke up. This helps us recognize each other, even from a distance. And if you want to continue this journey with us, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this content with anyone you feel is also waking up. The first wave has already begun, and you're in it.